so much, Donna. Can everyone hear me in the back? All right. Good afternoon. I'm really excited to speak today. The Paterno Fellows Program has been something that's I put a lot of time into, and it's really been close to my heart. Before I start, though, I'd like to send two big thank yous. First of all, to Interim Director Barry, who really worked tirelessly this year and stepped in and really did a wonderful job. Secondly, Dr. Barry already thanked her, but Barb Edwards, technically, what is her title? Program assistant. But me, I call her the heart or the engine of the Paterno Fellows Program. So please give it up for these two ladies. So I think my favorite aspect of the Paterno Fellows Program was that it really forced us to be engaged academics. You know, it forced us outside of the ivory tower and ultimately outside of our comfort zone. For me, I know I got outside my comfort zone by going to abroad in Morocco, as Dr. Barry had mentioned. There I was able to witness the general election while studying the political science, the history, the sociology of Morocco. I was able to live with a host family, which was really, really wonderful. Eat force-fed food all the time, which is a Moroccan aspect, and have some deep conversations about their perspective on the U.S. and my perspective on Morocco especially. I was also able to travel all over Morocco, meet a lot of different people, and ride what I think was the most stubborn camel, I think, in the whole Sahara Desert. But I didn't make it through that. But I would say my most formative experience came when I was walking back actually from church on a Sunday. And I saw a Syrian refugee family on the sidewalk. Whoa. That's it. I've done this so many times, I think I memorized it. And I stopped and you know, you read about them in the news and you watch it on TV, but it's definitely a different experience and it hits you in a different way when you see the consequences of the situation in front of you. And at that moment, I was just overcome with so much emotion, and I reached into my pocket and just kind of, as I passed, I dropped some money in the bowl in front of them and kept walking, you know, patting myself on the back and like I did something. And about 2 minutes later, I'm about to cross the street, and a homeless guy pats me on the back, and I turn around and he's there standing with his kid on his shoulder. And he's speaking in Arabic quickly, and at that point, I could not understand slow Arabic or any Arabic, so I was kind of in a rush and couldn't understand him. And you know, I'm picking up little words only. You know, I can say he's saying my son is sick. He's saying thank you, and he said something about money. And I'm like, okay, man, I have nothing. Like I'm getting nothing here. So I go to turn around and cross the street, and he grabs me. And he pulls out these handwritten notes that he's pre-made. And it was in Arabic as well. And I kind of didn't even look. I grabbed the note and crossed the street. And as I crossed the street, I look back and I'll never forget this image. It's him standing with his kid, and he looks just absolutely just dejected and sad. And he had these like piercing green eyes that are like burned into my memory. And I remember thinking to myself, like, it looks like I stole something from him. And I continue my walk, and I go home, and I have my host brother translate the note. And it says, you know, please help me. I'm from Syria. I'm here with my family in Morocco. I still have the note actually with me. And it clicks that this was the father of the Syrian family I had given money to before, and he had tracked me down, and he was just trying to thank me. And here I didn't have the decency or the patience to just try to understand him. Just try to listen. Give him the time of day. And in fact, I think I did steal something from him. I stole his hope in my humanity and my respect for him. And it was tough for me to finally understand that and to come to that. And I've thought about them a lot, and I still have the note, I still carry it with me. And I thought about our greater situation here and the way we kind of talk about the situation and use words like collateral damage, right, to describe civilians that have perished or underreport those deaths. And in fact, I was with a former ambassador the other day doing a talk, and when he was asked, what do you think about taking in 1,000 refugees or 10,000 refugees or even 500? He said, that's a drop in the bucket. That's not gonna solve the problem. That's not gonna change the world. And I was so mad at the time, I didn't say anything because I thought some explicit words were gonna come out of my mouth. But if I could respond now with a lesson I've learned, I think I'd say, you're right, Mr. Ambassador. It's not, taking in 1,000 refugees is not gonna save the world. It's not gonna change the world. It's not gonna solve the situation. But for those people, it will change their world and their reality and their circumstance, and that's important. And that's a lesson that I got from that situation was, big differences can be made in individual lives, and human dignity needs to be a priority. I think we've all learned a lot during our time as Paterno Fellows. A lot of lessons. Abroad, internships abroad for some of you, research. But I think I'm very comfortable speaking for all of us when I say the lessons that are most important were learned when we were very uncomfortable. Really, really uncomfortable. And for that, we have the Paterno Fellows program to thank. So thank you for making us uncomfortable. Because not only do they give us the tools, pushing us academically, double majors, triple majors sometimes, minors, but also the opportunity to go and test our beliefs and be uncomfortable. And that's what's really important. And I look and see people in front of me who I truly believe, everybody tells me I'm dramatic. All right, and I am, 100%. But the people in front of me are going to do some really, really important things. And parents, I hope you know that. They've already done some really important things, and they will continue to do important things. And I have no doubt, I'm not being dramatic when I say this, that I'm going to have to address some of you one day as Mr. and Madam Secretary or Mr. and Madam Ambassador, or hopefully, I'm not being dramatic, I swear, Mr. and Madam President. And when I have to use those titles, I'll say them very confidently and proudly, because I know what you've been put through here. I know that your beliefs have been tested, and I know that you've learned the important lessons. But I ask you, when you're in those roles and you're making decisions and analyzing situations, remember the individual and remember the lessons you learned when you were most uncomfortable, because I think those are the most important. Thank you so much, and congratulations, class of 2017, Paterno Fellows.